We are on the podcast and we are also live and we're streaming. But I got a special announcement that's going to be coming up. So we're going to get into all of that and more starting right now. And this is to all the Detroit fans. All right. We're back. We're live. We're talking NFL football. We're talking week 10. We're talking everything. We're talking everything football related here on the Regular Guys podcast. We are live and doing our thing on both live stream and online. So, appreciate the ones that's in here that's listening. Appreciate the ones that's in here that's listening, and we appreciate everybody else that's in here and doing their thing with us and enjoying everything that we're doing. Um, I want to get into. Hold up. Yeah, I can't hear it. As it close, as it delete, go, new show, get into it. I am trying to get everything straight online for everybody that's on the stream that's listening and everything. I'm trying to make sure that I got my sound quality checked. I got everything correct. I want to make sure that I'm hearing myself and just not, you know, talking because that has happened before where I just wind up start talking and then everybody was like, dude, we don't hear you. So I'm doing my I'm making sure that I'm being heard and I'm making sure that I'm being heard and everything. So um I'm checking it out again. I'm up in here again. It's the Regular Guys podcast. Good morning, good morning, good morning to everybody. Hopefully everybody had themselves uh, uh, a good, a so-called good Saturday right now. I'm waiting for my guests to come up in here, but I also want to welcome the Detroit Lions fans that's in that is in town today. That's in town for this weekend's games and everything. And I just want to welcome y'all to our city. Welcome to all the Detroit Lions fans that's in town. I want to welcome everybody in that's on the live stream and that is also listening in today. Um, Getting started with week 9 games first. We had some interesting games in week 9 that is really carrying over to the week 10, thing. We had teams like Carolina that surprised a lot of people that won last week. Um Seattle played real good. The way that they jumped out on us, man, it was crazy. We also had a few other games that we felt was that I felt was games that was exciting, that was to the point of saying, hey, I think this is it's going to turn out to be an interesting November and December, especially for a lot of these teams that are currently, you know, in the playoff hunt, or a lot of these teams that is currently um, is projected to win games and all. So, like I said, we're gonna have a great show today. We're gonna go ahead and just basically dive right into it. And everything. So, you know, I'm gonna start with the Washington game. To me, the defense, everything, they played lax. They didn't play like they should have. They didn't play like a team that was. I'm gonna say that wanted to come out and make something happen, especially with everything that's on the line. You know, Playoffs, everything else. I do agree with what I've been hearing a lot with. I agree, and then actually I'm mixed because of the fact that I think a lot of people is upset over the fact that we kept Jaden in, and a lot of people felt Jaden was in too long. You know, to me, it is what it is. I'm going. That's how I, I'm going to carry it. It is what it is, because I think that you want to do what you have to do to win games. But even though that game was kind of out of reach, I think it was one of them where you know they could have they could have pulled them, because it was in a no win situation for them. to basically, to be where they needed to be at. Um, to me, that was just they should have pulled him. And luckily, the significant injury isn't as bad as everybody, panned it out to be with Jaden. No surgery is required. And it's on his non-throwing arm, so which means he could be back out after the bye week, after they get back from Madrid. Which is very interesting because the way that the incident looked, the way that everything looked, it looked like it would have been more severe than what we thought. Again, he should never have been out. He should never have been out there in a blowout loss like that. But as they say, they're going to do what they're going to do. There's nothing that we can do about it. There's nothing as fans that we can do about it. Now, the other game I want to get into is the Rams. They're playing lights out. Them and they're playing playoff caliber, Super Bowl caliber football. And I really do think that a lot of the stuff that they're doing, a lot of the stuff that that they're executing, they're doing it to perfection. And it's one of them where I'm like, hey, this team could be that team to beat. This team could be that team that is a team that you may that is going to surprise a lot of people. I think the Rams is going to go far and doing and you know taking it to that next level. I think the Rams is going to be that team that everybody is going to have to fear. I think the Rams is going to be that team that we don't expect. I'm not going to say don't expect them to be, but I think they're going to be that team that is going to surprise a heck of a lot of people, especially with the Rams jumping into the playoff. With the Rams going into the playoffs. Now it's just how are they going in? Are they going in as a number one seed? Are they going in as a number two seed? That's the other thing that you gotta look at when it comes to the Rams. How are they going in and and are they going into are they going in where we is going to be able to say, yeah, they're going to be they're going to make an impact. They're going to make a serious impact when it comes to when it comes to what we are doing, what they're doing on the field. I think the Rams is going to be one of the ones that is going to come out there and beat teams that we don't expect them to beat. Once they get into the playoffs, do I think the Rams could, you know, go in the playoffs and actually, make a killing? I do. I think the Rams can go in and actually, make some things happen. Um, I think the Rams is one of them teams where they're definitely going to give people trouble on both sides of the ball. They're going to be that team that, you know, they're they're going to be that team that a lot of people don't expect to go far or expect to make noise um when it when they get into the playoffs. I do. I expect it to happen. I expect them to surprise a lot of people. I expect them to surprise a lot of teams, and I expect them to surprise, to be that team to be reckoned with. Um, Again, it's basically how they come in and perceive themselves, how they come in and say, hey, this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it. And do I think the Rams can do that? Yeah, I do think the Rams can I do think the Rams can do that. I do think the Rams can take it to that level and beat a lot of the teams that's currently out there. um I also think that they're going to be a handful for a lot of people too. Um, I think Matthew Stafford is going to show what he can do. And and in crunch time, I think Matthew Stafford is going to be that guy that is going to, let he's going to be that guy that we expect him to be, especially when it comes to crunch time. Another team I want to jump on, and that is Pittsburgh. Do I think Pittsburgh is going to, you know, do I think Pittsburgh is going to make some things happen? No, I don't. I don't think Pittsburgh is going to. I think they're going to get into the playoffs. Pittsburgh is. Um, they're going to they're going to be that team that is going to go in. We're going to say, okay, we expected that. And I think with us saying we expected that, I think that's what you're going to see coming from the Steelers. Um, and given the fact that the way that Aaron Rodgers and them been playing, and the way that everybody else been playing, I think you're definitely going to you know see a totally different team. I also think that I also think that you know we're 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 going to go into this playoffs with shockers. I do think that I do think that the Colts is for real. I do think Danny Dimes can do his thing with the Colts. I do think that given the fact that he is who he is, um I do think that he is going to, you know, be that guy. I really do. I think he's going to be that guy that is going to take his team to the next to the playoffs and go deep. Um, and I think he's going to. And I think he's going to shock a lot of people with his performance that he's going to do um in the playoffs. So it's going to be a lot, but I do have them as a number one seed. Um, and speaking of that, I was basically doing a breakdown. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a quick 2 minutes. We're gonna get back into the next segment, jumping into the playoffs, and basically my prediction and my seedings that I expect to happen. Again, it's gonna be very interesting. We got guests. I'm waiting for the guests to come on, waiting for them to come in and get their input on a lot of things that's going on. But for right now, we're gonna go ahead, take our little break. Welcome to DC. You're the USA, yeah, you're taking it slightly. I'm taking it slightly. Now you know I'll be right back. We'll be right here. We'll be right here. You know you're the USA, yeah, you're taking it slightly. I'm taking it slightly. Now you know I'll be right back. We'll be right here. We'll be right here. We ain't going nowhere. Welcome to DC. DC, the home of Chuck Brown. Oh, you don't know the sound? Well, let me break it down. The G-O, the M-A, and Theo. Theo, we've been pumping cranks since an embryo, really though. It's the city where the people hold the power, and you can see 9 dimes every half an hour. Well, Larson and Joe is the lingo, and brothers Rob, so ain't nobody rocking mink coats. Take you back to the madness, hats or how the city renamed cigarette stacks or how even the mayor had to run it with crack. But we all kept it real and we voted them back. But we got no stars that spit on bars like BET wasn't burning our backyard. So our energy, our essence, and our backyard. And Chuck Yard got us all going hard. Like, not the USA, you're taking it slightly. I'm taking it slightly. Now, you'll be right back. We'll be right here. Right here. You know you're the USA, you're taking it slightly. I'm taking it slightly. Now, you won't act, we'll be right back. We'll be right here. We'll be right here. We ain't going nowhere. Welcome to DC.